Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. It's my pleasure to have you on board on Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. My good name is Evan Sokinyi, and I'm here with the Professor Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
Wonderful.
Yes. As wonderful as usual. Here we are. Tell me this, with regards to what is taking place within the ruling party there in all these leadership wrangles and struggles there in blame games left, right and center. What do you make of what is currently taking place here? Are we seeing the sudden fall, or rather the imminent fall of the UDA party?
Well, the shenanigans we are witnessing cannot lead to the collapse of a party.
Okay.
Those are normal things, normal games. Yeah, so I don't think UDA will be affected.
Okay. Yeah. Even without any proper...
The only way is if the deputy party leader, who is Rigathi Gachagua, if he takes a walk.
Okay.
That will be major.
So you're saying that the troubles within the position of the Secretary General do not in any way influence or affect the
Those are small
strength
matters.
of the party?
Those are small matters. A little irritating, a little annoying that a serious party like this can have people meet around 5 o'clock to remove a young man like Malala from power, from being Secretary General. It's annoying.
Talk to me about the manner in which Cleopas Malala was shown the door.
It's just annoying. It's sometimes very difficult being a Kenyan.
Did you believe there were sufficient grounds for him to be...
It doesn't matter. I'm not even talking about the grounds. I'm talking about the manner of removal. Yeah. You just call the party organs responsible or organ. You table the issue. And in broad daylight, on a table, Malala is told you have been found wanting. You have been found wanting. You cannot longer continue being Secretary General. And then he takes a walk.
Okay.
But these games, they're actually cheap games. People meeting 5 o'clock in the morning to remove somebody from office. What is that? If it is true, sometimes we just read about these things. Yeah.
But this also raises a lot of questions on what does it take for one to be a Secretary General of a political party in Kenya?
You see, it's not a fight. It's not a position you fight to achieve. It's something you are given through tribal and political calculations. So we get somewhere and say, okay, fine. If we are UDA, we need somebody from Mukambani. So we get Mudama to become the chairman. Okay, we need somebody else from maybe Western. So we get Malala. He may not necessarily be the best. Perhaps the person calling the shots is Rigathi Gachagua at that time. He would want somebody he can work with. So it's never really a question of people who are capable. It's just a question of the calculations, cheap calculations, on the basis of tribe, region, or politics.
Looking at Cleopas Malala's stint as the Secretary General of this particular party, would you then say that perhaps these people had enough grounds for him to be ousted?
The problem with Malala, and I'm not saying he should have been removed, but I'm just saying the problem with him, the job looked too big for him. He looked like an excited young boy, given a shoe he can't fit in, but nevertheless walking with, in the shoes and trying to feel big.
Don't forget that this was a
gubernatorial
candidate, and as much as you're saying that this may be too big for him, he was a gubernatorial candidate.
So
under the
anybody can be. Anybody can be.
Okay.
Remember, he was ordering Mudavadi and Wetangula to close their shops, their kiosks. Calling Ford Kenya, Mudavadi's Ford Kenya, Mudavadi's ANC, and the Wetangula's Ford Kenya kiosks, that they should close or face consequences. Don't you think he was overexcited with the power he had? That's the problem.
Okay. So that is what landed him here.
Yeah, I think he looked overexcited, and you must also measure your shoe. You must also punch not above your weight. So if you get veterans like veterans in Kakamega, where he comes from, people like Boniface, you may not agree with them, but you don't try to show them they are irrelevant.
Okay.
No, because you will not succeed. They have been there longer and they know things. They will bring you down.
Okay.
Yeah. Treat carefully. You have to respect your seniors. And I kept saying why. Why can Malala realize that Boni Khalwale, people like Eugene Wamalwa, people like Atwoli, people like Oparanya, people like Mudavadi, people are his seniors from the region where he comes. You don't have to agree with them, but you need to respect them for their seniority. Remember, people like Khalwale, they are also respected in their own right within the same county where you come from. And if you go bare knuckle on them and you don't have the sufficient experience, you'll hit your whatever knuckles on the wall and you'll be hurt. So he's injured himself. Luckily enough, it's not very grave. It's not grievous harm. He will recover. He's still young enough. He has learned his lessons, I hope. Yes.
But days after being shown the door, he quickly went again on and actually spoke, saying very well, of course, trying to relate the kind of rumors about impeachment of the deputy president that we've had in the recent past, trying to relate that to the UDA leadership led by the chairperson, Cecily Mbarire, there for the governor of... do you think that perhaps Cleophas Malala should actually carry himself in a particular manner, not actually rubbing these people the wrong way?
That's what I'm saying, yeah. That's what brings many young politicians down. You give them some small job and they get overexcited. People like Imani Shungwa, they get excited and they think they are very big.
Could there be some truth, could there be some truth in whatever he was trying to say?
Of course, that it can be true, but how do you say it? It's important how you say it. The name, don't just mention names in politics. You know me, I'm free to mention anybody. I can say anything about anybody, so long as I'm not insulting them. Because I'm not a politician. But if you are a politician, you are operating in a space where you have to be careful. It's full of minefield, so you must be careful. Where do I step? For your own survival. So young politicians, you give them some small power and they think they can take on anybody. And they always pay for it.
So you're saying that this particular bone was too hard for him to chew?
Pardon?
Are you saying that this particular bond that was given to him was perhaps too hard for him to chew?
Not necessarily. I'm an advocate of young people getting, so this is even a small job. Secretary General of UDA is a small job. I want young people to get bigger jobs than that. So I'm not thinking being Secretary General of a party was too big for Malala. Sifuna is equally young, but he's doing a superb job in a bigger party than UDA, more organized than UDA. ODM has been around for long. It has more volatile politics than UDA. Because UDA is just Ruto who talks and a bit of Gachagua. But ODM, there are powerful voices within. How does Sifuna manage to navigate those forces? So it's not a question of age.
Talk to me about this. The president has been silent of late on all these leadership wrangles within his party, and we've not seen his voice come out clearly on the same. Don't you then think that perhaps it's the right time for him to call his out order and make sure that the ruling party does not actually collapse?
You know, the president can't be expected to be everywhere, every time and pronounce himself on everything. Each and no. Sometimes it's strategic to wait and see. But sometimes, who knows, maybe it's behind those schemes and those moves. So how does he speak against it? Yet he's the one who is behind them. So it's a mixture of things. Sometimes you can be the president, but you need to wait. When Tuju was knocking my friend Caleb Kostani, hitting them hard, Uhuru didn't speak. You give a guy a job, let him do it. So if you have given Raphael Tuju a job to hit Caleb Kostani and the rest, let him hit them.
But of course, you can see there is a lot of confusion here, accusations and counter-accusations from left to right, center, and people are being dismissed anyhow and others being installed therein, and all these chaos. Don't you think that they paint the party the wrong way?
That does, of course, but you see again, it's politics. You don't know where the president stands in all this matter. You don't know where Rigathi Gachagua stands in all this matter. So it's not like it's a very clean game where there are disagreements, foul play, and so on and so forth, where the ref can come and say, no, this is ref. If you don't agree, VR or whatever you call it. You know, this is politics. Many of the cards are not played on the table. Most of the cards in politics are under the table. So if Gachagua is having his cards, he can only put one on the table, but the rest he puts under the table, others in his pocket. So the same is Ruto. And therefore, what you are expecting is not very easy to see in politics.
Okay. Yeah. For Cleopas Malala, man who's had a very kind of promising political future, now seemingly in the limbo here because one, he did not actually succeed in clinching the Kakamega gubernatorial position there. And then he was given this plan, this SG job by the president. Again, he's been ousted out of that particular place. Of course, there is a caucus of the UDA original founders who actually want him expelled from the party based on how he actually conducts himself. What does this tell you about his political future and perhaps...
I think he has learned his lessons. The problem with being used, the problem with being somebody's puppet or mouthpiece, your life is short-lived. Your shell life is very short. Because when he changes the way he looks at things, then you also go down. Okay. But I hope Malala has learned his lesson. He has made a number of miscalculations. When Malala stood for governor, I knew it was a mistake.
Why?
I knew it was a mistake. He should have let Boni Khalwale do it for two reasons. Number one, Boni Khalwale stood a higher chance of beating Fernandez Baraza. Because irrespective of what party Boni Khalwale is in, he's a man of the people. He's a son of the soil. He has his organic following and people who believe in him because he's a fighter. So people could be voting for Boni Khalwale without looking at UDA and without looking at ODM's Baraza as ODM. He could get his own votes irrespective of what the party was doing. That's number one. So I thought Boni Khalwale would have carried the flag of UDA better than Malala. Secondly, from a purely political and selfish point of view, Malala should have known that in that compromise, if it flipped the other way so that he was supporting Khalwale and he went for Senate, the Senate would have been his. There's no way he would have lost. So he would be in Parliament as a Senate. That's from a very selfish perspective. Boni Khalwale would either be a governor or in his way to retirement. Boni Khalwale lost in 2017 when he tried to unseat Paranya. I told him on open forum, we used to be on NTV, People and Politics, every Tuesday. And I told Boni with Omar Hassan in Mombasa, I told them, you are senators. The people you want to unseat, Omar Hassan, we were on TV, not once, not twice. You cannot unseat Ali Hassan Joe, Omar Hassan. And we need you in parliament as a senator. Boni Khalwale, you will not remove Oparanya. So we need you to remain a senator, you'll come there. If they had listened to me. So what I'm trying to say is that if Malala had gone for Senate, he would have retained his seat. 100% sure. Okay. And now, if Khalwale made it, Malala is young enough to wait for even the 10 years.
Okay.
And he will be an assailed as senator for those 10 years until he takes over from Khalwale. But if Khalwale lost against Baraza, the point I'm making is very simple. Khalwale having lost in 2017, now losing in 2022, 10 years in the cold, he will be finished.
Okay.
He will be finished. He will not come back. You lose an election twice in this country, you are wasted, you are complete, you deplete your resources. You begin to sell a few things you had, and your value goes down. You will not come back. There's somebody in my place who was a senator also, and he went for governor. If he doesn't make it this time, again, that's the end of him. That's how politics work. It's end, kwisha. You can't be in the cold for 10 years. Utaanza kuza hata viatu spare. Utaanza na gari, kaplot, kashamba, kanyumba. You find election at 2027. By 2030, you cannot. So Malala miscalculated. You should have left Boni face Baraza and either win or lose. Him, he would have remained a senator. If Boni Khalwale lost in 2022 against Baraza, I can assure you, Boni will have disappeared from the political scene. And Malala will be the governor in 2027 because Baraza is not doing very well. Baraza is actually a very weak governor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So already he's having his problems with his UDA party members, and of course that is where he ran to after ditching Mudavadi's ANC.
Yes.
And definitely based on the manner with which he conducted himself during his stint as the SG, perhaps somebody would say that he rubbed Musalia Mudavadi also the wrong way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Therefore, what should he do right now? How then can he redeem himself so that
he takes the back seat? Okay. He should do some soul searching. He do some reflection, and begin to mend fences and make new friends. You know, people like Mudavadi are deep. You know, Tangwa, they are deep. Even people like Natembe, as a hitter to a Tangla, they must know these people are deep.
Okay.
They are deep inside. Wako deep. Ukikuja, they just watch you as you come. Watakudengua. So Malala didn't take time to realize that people like Wetangula he was attacking, people like Mudavadi and the rest of the people he was attacking, Boniface, these people have been around this space, and they are deep. They know things you don't know.
Okay. And
if they choose to uproot you, it's very simple. A combination of Mudavadi and Wetangula to uproot Malala is very simple. Over breakfast with Ruto. Mwambia lakini tuko sawa, lakini haka kijana haka hata tukatafutia kazi nyingine, hii ni kama kwisha. By the time they finish taking the tea, you are gone. There's no way you as Malala can go to State House and enjoy such a sessions with the president so close where you can do things na mkiamuka hapo mtu amewacha kazi. You can't. You are for ukikuja State House unakaa huko.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's wait and see, ladies and gentlemen, what happens before then. Do you believe that perhaps Malala's goose is cooked, as Prof puts it here? Well, you can win on this conversation and tell us what you think about the same. Allow me to stop this conversation at this particular moment. But of course, I'm saying that if at all you're watching us for the first time, definitely you are free to subscribe to our channel here and support us as well. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. Thank you for watching. My name is Evans. Okay.